Catson TV.
Hey everybody, Catsynth TV, and today we are looking at SWAM String Sections from our friends at Audio Modeling. We will look at the features of the physically modeled string sections, as well as Audio Modeling's Ambiente room simulation system. The string sections build on the physical modeling technology found in the SWAM solo string instruments, which model the physical behavior and properties of vibrating strings, bow motion, and body acoustics. If you haven't already seen our video on the solo string instruments, we recommend checking that out. Link is above and in the description below. Now, if one wanted a section of string instruments, like 4 cellos, one could use 4 copies of the solo cello virtual instrument. But not only is this expensive in terms of computational and memory resources, it misses some of the opportunity to model the detailed interactions of the players. SWAM string sections provide optimized models of multiple instruments playing together in a single package. The interface of the string sections, like this violin section, is very similar to the solo string instruments. We see the instrument model in the center, with the expression and articulation controls to either side, along with other performance controls. But one obvious difference is that the instrument model now represents multiple violins. We can model 4, 5, or 6 violins in a section. Notice that we also don't have the different types of violin, like vintage, modern, or electric, just the section sizes. Just as with the solo instruments, you need to have an expression controller active. In our case, the expression pedal of our MIDI keyboard. Okay, now let's listen to 4 violins. Try the same thing with 5 violins. And 6. Notice that we get different articulations and qualities based on how I play. If I play the notes separately, we get a staccato effect. A longer version with detached notes. And if I play overlapping with high velocity, we get legato notes. And if I play with low velocity, I get a portamento effect. Whoops, put my foot on the gas a bit too much there. Always a hazard when using the expression pedal with these instruments. Let's review a few of the other articulations that we have. Now, just as we did with the solo instruments, we have mini-mapped many of these parameters to our trusty Senzel morph so that we can control them in real time while we play. Let's look at the play modes. So far, we've been playing with a bow, we can also play pizzicato. We also have control over bow position. We can play in the center. We can play close to the bridge or sol ponticello. Or near the neck, sol tasto. Now, as we saw there, you can change the position dynamically while you play. Closer to the bridge is a slightly heavier sound, and closer to the neck is a slightly lighter sound. We also, of course, have vibrato. Now notice that with sections, the vibrato is a little less pronounced, more smeared out than it is with the solo instruments. This is in keeping with the slight differences in timing and position one would see among players in a section. It also made the bow position effects a bit more subtle compared to the solo strings. We have control over bow pressure. We can make it very heavy or very light, also known as flautando. Once again, the effect is more subtle than with the solo instruments. We also have harmonics, higher harmonics, harmonics are fun, and I like how the accompanying noise effects are amplified by the section. And finally, we have tremolo. Fast tremolo, and a section-specific mode where the tremolo is unsynchronized among players. Now, one of the really interesting things we can do with string sections is place them in room models. You can see the room placement in this corner, and clicking on it brings up the Ambiente room model interface. Here we see the selected room model, the position of the violin section, and the microphone positions. For this demo and the remainder of the video, I strongly recommend you listen with headphones or speakers with good stereo separation. Right now, our violin section is sort of to the left. Move it to the right side of the room, or to the center. Now we also have control over the microphone position. Right now it is close, but we can make it further away. Bring it back closer. If we bring the violins closer to the mic, it should be even louder compared to the ambient room sound. Cool, but the really fun part is changing the room characteristics. Right now we are in Listening Room 2, which simulates a medium-sized wooden studio with some sound absorption. We can set the room to high absorption, if we want the same size room but with low absorption, we have this concrete studio or garage with more reflections. We can also change the size of the room. Same material but a bit smaller. If we want a larger room with low absorption, we have this small church. A larger church, That's a very live space. But we can go up one more level to a cathedral. Oh, yeah. Let's stick with the larger size, but make it less reflective. This gives us a couple of concert halls and theater spaces. Okay, let's bring in a cello section. You can see over here that it's now part of the same room as the violins. Let's click on the indicator and bring up the room interface. We see the cellos on the right and the violins on the left in our medium-sized studio model. We can switch their positions within the space. You should be able to hear the difference in the stereo output. Now let's try a larger room and make it more reflective. Yes, we're back in church. Now, the room modeling feature originated with the string section instruments, but it's now available in all SWAM solo instruments as well, and not just strings. Let's bring in a Cor Anglais, otherwise known as an English horn. We'll place it in the center between the strings. Now, you're probably getting a little sick of that riff. I know I am. But using a constant musical example helps us focus on the acoustic modeling and physical modeling changes rather than on the music. So bear with us just a little bit longer. Now, we can also have different rooms or studios for different instruments at the same time. So far, we've done everything in Studio A. Let's go to Studio B, make it a medium-sized listening room with high absorption. Click Manage, and click Move Sources. And now we can move the strings to Studio B while leaving the Cor Anglais in Studio A. This allows us to mix different acoustic treatments for different instruments in a larger recording. Lovely. We also have a special close mic room where we can capture instruments without room sound. Think of it as having an isolation booth for recording. Let's bring our English horn into the close mic room. And let's go back to Studio B with our string sections. While I'm not going to put them in the closed mic room, we're going to place them in a high absorption studio. This setup will allow one to do downstream processing with other plugins on both strings and English horn and mix them with other types of instruments or sounds. And there you have it. Audio Modeling has also recently released a version of the Ambiente room modeling as its own plugin, separate from the instruments. But we'll save that for another episode. To find out more, please visit audiomodeling.com and check out the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to CatSynth TV